Welcome back to Revisiting History, where we don't only document sites, but we try and expand on the knowledge that we currently have. And throughout Revisiting History, Chaco culture has been significant. In fact, we have UNESCO sites, two very close. We have one, I think one's a World Heritage Site actually, and then we also have another Chaco outlier very, very close. A recent DNA study has changed everything that we know about Chaco culture. It shows that the Picaris Pueblo people are direct descendants of the Chaco people. But this wasn't a study. It was actually done by the Picaris people, and they had chosen to give their DNA for further research into this subject. Of all the tribes that were asked to provide DNA, the Picaris Pueblo were the only ones to actually provide their DNA, and now we have actual results tying them to this site. But that doesn't mean that the others aren't connected. In fact, I think it proves a point. Before the great stone buildings, there were basket makers. The early, small, ancestral Puebloans. Living in small communities, they built canals, they built baskets, pottery, and made small huts. The Jimenez Pueblo, the Pueblos along the river, are they united to Chaco as well? Is this one giant transformation down south? The Navajo Nation has long told stories of being here before the Anasazi and Chacoan culture.
People say, we don't know what happened to them, they vanished. They did not vanish, they became the Ne. In fact, some people say there was as many as maybe 1.5 million of people that became the Ne. The Chaco Canyon. But it is there that there were already Pueblo people that lived there. The Pueblo people became easy prey to the Anasazi, and they were enslaved. Now, when the Anasazi came, it was a very later time period. And as I mentioned, they were only here for a short time. And these people, their principal economy, of course, was the slave trade. And so it was that they were there for a few hundred years. Less than 300 years is a good estimate. But they are not cliff dwellers, and they are not Puebloan. They are Anasazi and completely different. Then the other story is at the very end of the telling of the encounter with the Anasazi. After that they were completely destroyed, one of the leaders of the Anasazi is the last one. And the holy people turned him into an arrow, and the Navajo man then puts him in a bow and then shoots into the south. And these are the things that we were told by the old people.
Oral tradition says that they were here long before science believed. And now we know oral tradition is often right. This may be their land. Their stories describe contact, trade, and even warfare with the Chaco culture. We can't ignore that. In fact, it may mean the Navajo were here many thousands of years prior to what is believed by science. Around the time the Aztec Empire began to rise in the south, the Chaco Empire began to shrink. Empires do that. They break into states. People move, they adapt. Some may have gone south. The Chacoan culture could have gone all the way to Mesoamerica and possibly back. Evidence proves from macaw feathers, chocolate, Mexican mirrors, and even bells. The point is, these ancient cultures were not isolated, they were connected. This DNA is more than science, it's validation. It proves what the native people have always said. They've always been here. The land remembers, and the people never left. This is their home, and it always has been. Thank you for watching Revisiting History. Have a good night.